A few years back, I made a video titled "Some Gay Men Deserve to Be Hated," and before anybody tries to cry at me, those two men in that video are in jail and they're going to stay in jail for a long time because their definition of love for children is what the rest of us would call criminal acts committed against children.
This Walton County couple is now behind bars accused of an unthinkable crime. Police say they seized their two adopted children and videotaped it. The county, the GBI, and DFACS now all investigating that couple as they try to find those children a new home. Channel 2's Veronica Griffin live at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. Veronica, those two men are being held in different places.
That's right. One of the fathers is being held here at the Walton County Jail. The other father at nearby Barrow County. Investigators tell us they're keeping them apart while they continue to sort things out. Do not enter, property of the Walton County Sheriff's Department. This sign is now posted on the front door of this home on St. Regis Way in Walton County. It's where detectives say this couple, William and Zachary Zulak, used their two adoptive sibling children and videotaped it.
We didn't really like it, but as far as we read, it was isolated, so wasn't really something that we're concerned about, but still not good.
Neighbor Austin Potts tells me he learned about the arrest on Facebook.
We have a community watch on the road here, and they had posted about it and read the details and found out about what happened.
According to jail records, the couple were booked and charged with aggravated child molestation and sexual exploitation of children. The siblings were removed from the home by DFACS.
It's very unusual for this area. It's usually a very quiet area, not a lot of that kind of stuff going on that we know of.
Apparently someone knew. The GBI received a tip that a third suspect was downloading child about 15 miles away in unincorporated Loganville. We're told that person led detectives to this home.
That's not tolerated around here, and it's a good thing the police got it.
But be that as it may, I love this idea in some people's heads that they could bring a child into a household that's filled with a lot of darkness. And it doesn't matter if it's gay couples, lesbian couples, straight couples. It could happen in any regard at any given time because we have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. And it's funny when you come into a scenario where you just will wake up and see something that will just instill in you that belief that there needs to be more background checks that are done thoroughly in making sure that a child is going to a home that is safe and not just possibly a den for a child to be violated. Because what do you mean that I have to sit here and imagine a scenario where I am in a committed gay relationship and maybe I am thinking about the idea of having a child, but because I'm in a relationship with a man and I can only fucking ass, I can't necessarily create life, so I would have to adopt. And as I'm going through the process of adopting a child, a literal child who is 9 years old, I see my lover going viral for not anything good, but because they're just creating acts of self-pleasure to 3-year-olds.
I mean, I'm not officially adopting him. My boyfriend is.
Your boyfriend's adopting him. How old's your boyfriend?
Are you recording me?
On there, yeah.
He's 25.
Okay. Is he aware of the stuff you watch?
No.
No? Okay. So, what's the youngest age you've...
I don't know.
Tell me the truth, man. What did it look like?
He was a young kid.
How old what did he look?
Probably like 3.
3. And how old's the guy y'all are trying to adopt? The kid you're trying to adopt?
9.
He's 9. So you told me that on Telegram you've received videos of 3 to 10-year-olds, and you're trying to adopt probably an abused 9-year-old boy. You kidding me? Okay. Well, that's that's not happening now, right? That's over.
Am I going to jail?
I don't know about that, but he's not going to be in this house anymore. I'm going to make sure of that.
I'll leave. Don't do that, please. I'll leave, please. I will leave. Like, please don't do that to him. He does not need that. He does not deserve that. I will go. Please don't.
He's living with a.
Do that to him, please.
Call the cops on this motherfucker.
Please, guys. What?
You absolutely cannot for the life of me watch that and not have it click in your brain that that lover who is the boyfriend, who is also the one trying to adopt a child, isn't also someone to be suspect about. Because how do you go through an entire relationship where you are moved in with somebody and you live with them to the point where you're conversating about adopting a child and bringing someone into that home and not knowing what they got in their spank bank? It is impossible to not know about that when you live with somebody, because the evidence and the guilt will be riddled all over the face and a little bit of dryness on the bedsheet. You will be able to spot how someone truly tends to operate when it comes to pleasure of the flesh. You will see the patterns and you will recognize how they move and operate. You can't convince me that you just lived with somebody who was rubbing it down to children and you just didn't know about it. And it leads to that conversation of people not being able to be trusted, because how do you think it's gonna go when you are found out as somebody who's loving it up with children on a screen to the point where you got images from different apps and you're sharing it around, and you have somebody trying to bring in a child 6 years apart from your horny demographic into the fold? I'm sorry, but not a lot of people are going to have confidence that their child is going to remain safe. They're not going to have it in them to believe that you will create a structure that is safe for a child to be around. They're going to think, oh my, we just saved a child from potentially being violated by either one or both parties. Because let's be clear, I'm not really letting this mystical boyfriend slide here, because how are you in a relationship with somebody who's rubbing it down to the sensations of seeing 3-year-olds on a screen? I will never truly get this concept created by people who want to have honest conversations or safe spaces for people who have this idea in their mind that it's acceptable to look at children walking by and thinking, oh, because it's weird, it's criminal, and the way that it's been discussed by people and how they want to feel comfortable up until they get caught is disturbing. Like, I'm so sick of the, oh my God, please don't do this, please don't call me, please. That sad demeanor, the nice little cadence in your voice, the panic in your eyes, it's nothing but a facade. Because let me explain this very carefully. You spent an odd amount of time lusting at children on a screen, and you were comfortable sitting in your bed, sitting in your couch, probably sitting in your car, pleasuring your nasty little flesh to children. And then you got a little cocky. You thought, maybe I could do it flesh to flesh. And then you scoured the dirtiest parts of the internet trying to see if you could satisfy your flesh with another flesh. And you interact with somebody who's probably either a child or a parent just offering up their child, and you're thinking, I can get my flesh satisfied now. And you're waiting, you're sitting there all smug, you're sitting there all confident, and instead of a child, it's a big burly 30-something-year-old man reading you the riot act for the crimes that you committed. You are not sad that you are going to ruin the reputation of your lover. You're sad that you got caught and the walls caved in. And that truly makes you a piece of shit. Someone who is willing to go far and beyond to violate a child to the point where a child was going to be legally in your custody, but you were going to commit an act of harm against them. I hold that to the highest regard and to the standard, because you are not presenting yourself as anybody trustworthy. You're a sick fuck who deserves to be under the jail and in hell at the same time, because nothing about you screams positive parental influence. Nothing about you screams responsible adult. It's a benevolent, stupid fuck who thinks children are something to lust after. They are not. They are children. They have to develop in this world. They have to grow up. And I would rather a child grow up in a world where they can actually see the good in it instead of living in a lot of bad. And being in the custody of somebody who's jerking it to children is not somewhere a child should be present. Spare me any talk of being too mean or homophobic, because my response is simply, you would rather a child be in the custody or the protection of someone who cranks it to 3-year-olds. Fuck you. Try that somewhere else. Subscribe to the channel. I hope this piece of shit is embarrassed. I hope the lover and the boyfriend loses any right to potentially have custody over any child. I hope they are no longer allowed near adoption centers. And I hope for the longest of times they all roll around in the shame of the smegma that is the outward seed that comes from lusting on children via a screen. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.